episode of the GroupChat Podcast. I'm joined, as always, my brother standing in 6'2", 225 pounds. Tony is in the building. How we feeling? Now it's draft day. Standing in at 6'10", 295 pounds, fresh out of North Carolina. Tony, hold on,
295.
6'10", 295. That's probably, no bullshit, I'm probably like an inch off from like DeMarcus Cousins coming out of college.
You ain't, other than the obvious differences, you ain't never seen a nigga 18, 19 carry 295 well.
I mean, that was ain't no bullshit. Remember, because they had like weight questions with DeMarcus Cousins coming out. Because there was like early draft projections of like if he can't get his weight down, he can't play, and they were wrong. But you know,
Was Boogie better than John Wall?
as an 18-year-old, hell no. As a
Obviously.
22-year-old, Because what age did John Wall actually stop playing? Like by
30.
the time he was,
It feels
did he
like.
make it all the way to 30?
No, he made it to 30 for sure.
Okay. Then like probably 18 to 23, I would say Wall, and then 23 and up is definitely Boogie. Because Boogie in Sacramento, no one gave a fuck because it was the Kings, but like Boogie was giving niggas work like every single fucking night.
John Wall was dragging the Wizards to the playoffs.
That's fine, nigga. Dragging the Wizards to the playoffs is one thing. When's the last time you saw a nigga drag the Kings to the playoffs?
De'Aaron Fox and Mike Brown just did it.
And you know, and what you think about De'Aaron Fox now?
Nigga can hoop.
Oh man. Standing there at 6 foot, we gotta have
Niggas was in the lottery every year. DeMarcus Cousins should have had nothing but stars. As much time as they spent in the lottery.
Both of them niggas was in the lottery every year.
I was like,
John Wall just had him on. John Wall just had him on the back end of the lottery.
nah, that's a fact. Hey, standing 6'8", 250, Will is in the building. Happy belated Father's Day. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
Alright, you ain't get no fucking Father's Day on Wednesday, like.
Father's Day is crazy.
Hey, look, hey, man, look.
Especially when we texted that day. Y'all niggas text me.
I'm just trying to be cordial. I'm trying to be. See, niggas can't give anybody compliments. Who y'all been listening to?
No, I said we accepted the compliments. I accepted the compliments via text. Remember? I got the receipts.
Who y'all been listening to this week, man? Who y'all listening to this week?
I've been listening to. Who have I been listening to this week? I've been listening to just kind of all over the place. But if I had to pick one rapper of the week, it would be Bodie James. Common theme for me. But yeah, Bodie James is my rapper of the week. New tape out with Nicholas Craven.
Jadakiss just did open bars like 20 minutes ago in case niggas want to put that up there.
Shout out to Kiss.
Nah, not really.
You don't want to give Big Daddy Kane the love. The trend he tried to start. I don't know if it's tried, but he started. It's
That
going
ain't
too
even-
deep right now.
That ain't even Kiss slander because Kiss is still Kiss, but it's just like if I go back and listen to Jadakiss from like 2002 on the freestyle, and I listen to Jadakiss now on the freestyle, it's like I prefer Young Mike, you know.
Man.
Like 97 Mike was still the nigga, but 87 Mike
160.
was dunking from the free throw line with the gold chain on.
Nigga said he was Jesus. Hey, that's like the most hilarious quote ever. For Larry Bird being like the all-time trash talker that like people had him, and for him to go like after a press conference be like, "Hey man, I thought Jesus stepped on the court with some shoes." Like,
Hey,
who you been listening to this week, Will?
I don't know who my rapper of the week is. Because honestly, I know last week my rapper of the week was Meek, and I still been listening to a lot of Meek, honestly.
I running back two times.
Yeah,
I'm running back 2 times.
I had some Rod Wave mixed in there, though. So I listened to a little bit of Rod Wave.
everything okay?
We're still alive. I didn't say I had Rod Wave on repeat.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I ain't say like it was Rod Wave top to bottom. Like that's all I've been listening to. Actually,
Rod
so
Wave.
the funny shit with Rod Wave, especially with with niggas talking about like just the style of music he make. I don't think I've never finished the whole Rod Wave album. And I
I
fuck
haven't
with Rod
started
Wave
one.
like no, I fuck like I don't even remember how I ended up coming across like some of his songs at some point, maybe a couple of years ago, but I ended up listening to a couple of them. And actually, no, I think the first song that I ever really remember hearing from him was, well, obviously I knew the name, but it was he redid "Over My Dead Body" shit by Drake. I think that was like the first shit that I heard from him, and I thought that was cool or whatever, and started kind of tapping into him a little bit. But I've never finished the entire Rod Wave project.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Shout
I'm
out to
running it
Roderick
back.
Wave.
We call him Roger. I'm doubling
Roger
down,
Wade,
going
Roger
back to
Davis.
back. Talk about two different. Hey yo, I'm running it back with YG. Again, I said last week, dude, but whenever somebody's about to drop an album, YG delivered, in my opinion. I saw some shit on Twitter. People weren't feeling it initially. I think the album's really fucking good. I'm not gonna do the whole where it fits in his discography. Um, I did want to ask y'all because it does tie into who we're talking about today. I think there's a lot of you like from the 80s, pre-social media, pre the internet going crazy. Like it was fine if your first album was your best album. And now that's like seen as slander. And so somebody like YG, like who has gotten criticized, like, oh, this ain't my crazy life. It's like that's fine in my opinion if he never drops an album as good as that. But like, it's not a terrible thing if your first project is your best project. No,
Who is that seen as slander by?
I'm a say the internet, but the internet has some real people on it, and so
Do
take
it?
your take of. I mean, it has got a few real people. There's a lot of bots, there's a lot of bullshit. I get it, but there's some real human beings that are on that.
Like,
if you say,
sure, it's
oh,
niggas with like breathe like breath in their body and like skeletons and skin, but are they real people though?
says, have you ever criticized an artist because you feel like their best shit was either their first shit or their really early stuff? Like you personally ever felt like that was a criticism?
It was only a criticism if I ain't like them. Otherwise, I ain't care.
Fair. Will, you ever
Yeah, I
did
think.
it?
Nah, I don't think I've ever done it. I think the times that we in though it get a little tricky because of. I think as time go on, the whole trying to make like music and sports anonymous thing is a big deal. So now when you say like if you said like and I think the best year was his rookie year.
Tyreek Evans.
So is that a compliment or is that a slight? Like you know what I mean? So like
Hey, Tony
I
shook his
think
head. I don't know. Is that a compliment or is that a slight?
Like you just pulling Tyreek Evans is crazy.
but no but
Am I
yeah so it's
wrong?
like I think
Who's to say?
shout out to Tyreek. But no I think people view it like that way too much sometimes. So like they look at it and say if your first album is your best album, did you get better after that, or did you get worse? And that may not be the right way to look at it because a lot of times, especially when you talk about like somebody like a YG who is a street artist, that first album was probably when he was deepest in the shit. Because after that album, he wasn't. You know you can't fake that no more. You can't fake the funk no more. Like now you get money. So like that was kind of when you was the most in it, when you was the most authentic.
No, that's super valid. Want to hit some things here real quick. Obviously, we had huge NBA trade. Giannis got traded to the Heat. Pull up the full details here.
Giannis got traded to the Heat.
Unfortunately, that just it's a Wild offer.
That shit funny because Will could sell me that he didn't know that until today.
The Giannis, Bobby Portis to the Heat for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, um, Jaime, number 13 overall pick, two unprotected first round picks, 2031, 2033, and pick swaps 2030 and 2033. Look what Sam Presti got niggas doing.
God damn.
Everybody need pick swaps. What did y'all think when you heard the news?
None really. I mean, um, I think the more days go by after the trade, I'm excited to see what him and Bam look like together. Like I think that's a great defensive duo, and I think he could open things up for Bam offensively. Like because Bam can shoot the mid range jumper, probably stretch out to three more with Giannis there, Bam shoots a good amount of threes, but I think that could probably even open up more with Giannis there. And like I said, defensively, you get into the best defensive players in the league.
And
So
that's inside and out when you talk
yeah,
about defending, like perimeter defense and paint defense.
And
so
this is
yeah,
the point.
I'm
'Cause
excited
he's
to
a
see
good
what it look
defender
like.
too. I never remember his name.
Fucking, it'll come to me. Is literally right
Davion
there.
Mitchell.
Davion
Like
Mitchell. That's it.
Davion Mitchell's a good on-ball defender. So when you do that, like when you get to, especially when you get to play extra aggressive because you know
He
you
still
got
got
Giannis and Bam
Wiggins.
behind you.
Still
Yeah,
got Wiggins.
Powell's a restricted free agent. It's going to be tough. A team is probably going to. Powell's probably not coming back. Another team is probably going to offer more than what Miami can pay right now. Um, this is obviously too respect to Jimmy
If
Butler.
I'm
They didn't
Norman
make the finals
Powell,
twice.
if I'm Norman Powell, I don't know if I'm chasing like the most money.
And did he? Ain't he coming off and just getting paid though? Like I mean,
I
obviously
don't
his
know what
bag
his
could be
last
bigger.
contract was. Let's see, what's his last contract?
Norman Powell.
He last signed 5 for 90. Yeah. So last contract was 5 for 90. He's now a restricted free agent.
That's the type of
Um,
deal. Yeah, he getting more than that now for sure. I mean, obviously with the cap going up, but even what he done in the years since then, 5 for 90, that was kind of a steal for like Norman Powell. And you only signed a 5 year deal for 90 million when you don't really, you know, you don't know what life about to look like.
yeah. And so he's 33, but this is gonna be the best player Bam's played with. Like respect to Jimmy Butler making the finals twice. I guess like the expectation is like for the team. Really, fuck the team. We don't got another short form film this week, so I'll just ask real quick: does Giannis ever make it to another finals?
Who
The way
knows?
things look right now.
He in the East. Anything is
Why?
possible.
Why not? Why not?
Like I
My
don't see no dominant team like in the East where it's like ain't nobody beating them.
there's not a
If,
dominant team. I
if
just
I can
also
get a
don't.
healthy and Bam, if I can get a healthy Giannis and Bam next season, I don't see why the Heat can't make a finals run.
I just think off the top of my head, I'm like Detroit, New York, Cleveland, and Boston. I still think right now are better. I know Boston's going to change because Jalen Brown's probably getting traded, but I still feel like that team is better. Um,
New York, I'll give you. After that,
It's in the
it's
air.
open.
Like I'm not. You can't. Like I'm not just agreeing with Cleveland or Detroit. I mean, and I like Detroit. I like Cleveland. Like I like Cleveland too, but I don't think I can be sold on them just being outright better than a Miami team with Giannis on
out
it.
out on Cleveland, but Detroit, I think needs a secondary score and a real.
They need to go get Devin Booker.
They need a secondary guy or a main guy because K don't mind playing like true point guard. Like they need a real guy that could get buckets outside of Cade because they don't have shooting. Like they offensively they need a lot. Like defensively, I think they can even reach another level, depending on what they do with Beef Stew and Duran. But yeah, like I
Yeah,
said,
K
if
need a guy that he need a guy that can go get his own bucket.
you give me a healthy Giannis and Bam season, at least 70 games between the two. If I can get at least 68 to 70 games between the two, because that's healthy in today's NBA. So
mhm.
I don't see why they can't make a run. Like I said, New York. I think New York. Obviously, they won the title. They got the crown at the top. After that, it's open.
Valid. Um, NBA draft. Obviously, this is one of the best drafts in recent memory. What were y'all biggest takeaways from the draft? AJ went one to Washington, and I know like the story is Anthony Davis don't want to play there, and I'm not gonna act like I know because I don't know Anthony Davis. That's not a bad team. And like I don't get to say that very often about the Wizards, but like that is genuine. Like if I'm AD, like what team do you really feel like you're going to that's gonna be instantly better just on a talent basis? Like Trey, AJ, AD, like that is a big three gets overused because people just start throwing up their three best players and be like, oh, that's a big three. But like that's a legitimate like AJ's got star potential, obviously first overall pick in the draft. First overall pick in the draft. AD, again, it's got to be health, but that's on him. Is still one of the best defenders in the game, still a great two-way player. And Trey's a great point guard who statistically is going to give you 2010. I know people bitch about Trey's efficiency and on defense. Well, he's kind of a lost cause, but you got Anthony Davis behind you. So you help mitigate the lost cause. Like, Washington ain't a bad team, in my opinion. And Utah don't even look bad. Like, that was my takeaway before I pass it off. Like, teams were filling out, even at the top, where it was like, oh, these are the worst teams in the league. They like, no, you really got to see, like, everybody was just tanking. Because there were teams at the top, you like, oh, they actually got some talent. Like, they filling out pieces. Memphis probably has the weakest roster. I know they drafted Boozer. Obviously, we'll see what happens with Ja. He's most likely not going to be there. They traded away some guys. But, like, there weren't horrible teams at the top of the draft was my biggest takeaway. And they were doing smart drafting, in my opinion.
Trae Young played 15 games this year.
And that's.
But he got sat down because they didn't want to play him because he put out.
No, I'm not saying they was like real. Like the Wizards shit wasn't like real. I get that. I was just kind of taken aback that he only played 15 games.
That nigga put out a post saying how excited he was to hoop for Washington. Them niggas shut him down for the season the day after.
Respect.
You don't think there was some decent teams at the top of the draft? Well, at least like not dog shit teams. Like you could see Washington being like, all right, that's a decent team next year.
I mean, no, I think it's like middle of the pack teams, like you saying some middle of the pack teams, like to where it's like this ain't the worst team in the league, like you know, with the very top picks and things like that. Well, I
mean, the thing was real. If you needed a reminder to like, oh yeah, these niggas just throwing shit like Utah's got some players, and it's just like, oh, but none of them niggas played like the last 50 games, and it's like, okay, so if you actually get Ace Bailey, you got Peterson, you got Triple J, like you got Markkanen. I don't know what's gonna happen with Walker Kessler. I know right now the report is they're far on contract talks. We'll see where that obviously ends up, but like they got some players. Like there wasn't like a totally awful team. Again, Memphis is probably
they got a little squad over there. They ass, but they got a little squad over there in Utah.
Yeah. Tony?
Like it's definitely ass.
What was the question?
Just how you felt about the draft.
Like I don't know, cause I kind of like we kind of knew the order for months, so it's like I don't really know how I felt about it. I'm always happy to see new guys coming to the league, especially like good guys, good players. The NBA get more talented players, like that's always a plus. So that's probably the most I took from that last night. Outside of like, I don't really have any takes on like team fits and all that type of thing. Still got to let free agency play out. Other trades will happen. See like what that does to the league. Jaylen Brown will probably be traded. Kawhi may be traded. So a lot of shit still got to shake out before I have any like thoughts on team fits and things like that. But I was just excited to see some guys who I think are some of the better prospects we've had over the last decade come into the league.
Did you
about to be back?
I don't disagree.
The Bulls about to be back, Justin. What happened the last time the Chicago Bulls drafted a guard in the top 4? Well, even though he ain't a guard, a UNC player in the top 4.
Wasn't it Kobe White?
I said top 4. Kobe White was picked up the summer.
Kobe White.
Come on, my nigga.
Hey, no, hold up.
Come What happened the last
That
time the
was I
Bulls took
can't
a
be
UNC player in the top 5?
that that shit they did on ESPN was nuts, right? Like I can't be the only person who was like that was just crazy. Like fuck the like we can like joke whatever. Like
What happened?
Kenny, so Jay Will, who was also drafted by the Chicago Bulls, and they showed him getting draft number 2, and everybody was cheering. And Richard Jefferson, the host like, oh man, they were cheering so loud for you, and Richard was like, that's because they couldn't see the future. And it was like, all right, you get your jokes off, cool. And then Kenny comes out and he's just like, man, that's not fair. His career would have been totally different if he ain't ever see a motorcycle. And it's like,
He's right. Kenny's right. I don't know what to say.
Jay Will got some really good. We talked about like when your ego was challenged and how you react. He's had some really good training. How you, if a anyway, um, I was gonna ask you really quick, Tony. Did you care at all as far as letting him to the draft? Like, I know the one concern they had for Peterson was like it was based like the nonchalant, right? It was like, oh, is he really love basketball? Because people felt like he was pulling themselves out of games early, or if he was hurt, he wasn't really willing to risk it at all. And that was one of the factors between like if you like Tim or DeBance number 1. Did you really care? Did you think that was fair as far as comparing those 2 players?
Don't really matter now. I mean, like, don't really matter if it was fair or unfair because it's one of those things where it's like he was clearly bothered by injury, whether that be cramping or otherwise. He's an effortless scorer. He's one of the best scorers coming into the league that we've had in who knows how long. So it's just like that shit don't matter, man. It didn't matter to Utah clearly, so it's not even something that I would like entertain as far as it being like a narrative.
Do you think they got it right with those top 3? Like that would have been the correct order, like AJ, Darren, and Boozer.
I would have. It really was no wrong player to go with as far as order in the top 4 for that matter. But I would have. I personally would have went Cam Boozer, but like the margin is very thin. It's not something where I'm like, it's clearly Cam Boozer. Like nah, it's just kind of I prefer Cam Boozer over the other guys, but there was no wrong answer.
You saying at that pick, or you saying like? Are you saying like Are you saying at
Like
3?
if you had the number
Cam
1
Boozer,
overall pick, you would take Cam.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So you saying you had him as number 1?
Yeah, hey, Cam.
I know you said it. I know you said the margin is thin.
Yeah. Hey, Cam, AJ, Darren, and then Caleb. And that's really just because Caleb can't score in the way those guys can. Everything else is probably pretty close. And had he had a chance to finish his season, who knows? He goes higher than he did.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Excuse me. Moving on, we got tomorrow is the 30-year anniversary. Yeah, I got that right. 225th. 30-year anniversary of one of the greatest rap albums of all time. Speaking of a nigga who you could argue his first shit is his best shit. It's the 30-year anniversary of Reasonable Doubt. I want to approach this a slightly differently to start. As we've done these, obviously, we've done albums that are older than us, as old as us, etc. What is the first time y'all can remember listening to Jay-Z?
Early 2000s for sure. Either Big Pimpin' or Give It To Me video. One of those two.
Will?
Hold on, let me see.
1995.
I wasn't making no age jokes. I was saying nothing. I wasn't accusing niggas of being outside when it dropped. You know.
I was outside. I was outside listening to Jay-Z early, but I'd say maybe around. I'm thinking around 2002.
Okay.
And that's like, and when I say that, like, obviously not the first time that I heard Jay-Z, but like the first time that like I consciously
like actively
like
like
listen to Jay-Z. And
yeah, like
because I had to find out when Ether, like I had to find out exactly when Ether dropped because I remember Well, no, but I just know around that time, like when Ether dropped, because I actually like I was listening to Nas first, because like I heard Ether first, and I said, oh shit.
That's
Cause
probably like that might be. Anyway, continue. My bad. I'm trying to. My
no,
bad.
no, you good. So, because my mom's ex husband at the time, like he was into like all the rap shit. So like he like I remember him playing Ether for me, and like I was listening to this shit, like who the fuck is he talking to like this? Like damn, this nigga talking crazy to a nigga. Like and at that age, like Ether was like the coldest shit ever to me. I said, oh, this nigga just disrespecting a nigga. So now that like I think listening to Ether and then kind of after that, like that's what kind of introduced me to Jay-Z as far as me going to find it and me, me kind of learning about Jay-Z and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I say about 02, when I was probably like 9 going on 10.
Tony, do you feel then like, was that, you referenced Big Pimpin', was that you just listened to the record, or was that you like actually listening to like going to what extent we could? Obviously, it was radio back then. If your parents had CDs in the house, like, was it just the big record? Or did you like actually like want to listen to her?
I didn't actively want to listen to Jay-Z probably until like middle school, high school. Like when I was a kid, like Jay-Z was like a big deal, but like Beanie Siegel was the guy though. Like State Property was the streets. So it's like that's what I knew. Like Rockefeller as a whole was a big deal. Like don't get me wrong, like Jay-Z, Dame Dash, all of that, but like State Property, like them Philly dudes was what kind of introduces you into it as like a young kid, because you know those guys, you see those guys. So it's like that was more relatable for me. And then as I get older, and I go back and I listen to Jay, and I'm like, damn, because obviously Cole's my favorite rapper. So I, Jay is who introduces the world on a mainstream level, at least, to Cole. And then from there, I go back and I listen to Jay, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. So again, the first rapper I was introduced to was 50. And that was because my mom was doing what most women and most people were doing in 2002, which was listen to a lot of 50 Cent. So it was a lot of, at her place, it was 50, the nasty nigga from Chicago. They were on repeat like 24/7. Like you could have damn near you just told me like he was the only nigga to rap, and he was the only nigga to sing. Based off my experience with her, I'd have been like, yeah, that's it. Those are the only two. Probably. So it was definitely later for me, just because again my experience with music was later, because I just really didn't like music that much as a kid in general. Funny enough, like my big introduction to Jay was the Linkin Park collabs, and I really started to not only hear him, but like I started like to actively go listen to him. No, I know, but I all I can do is be honest. I know y'all don't.
No, hey, you actually said this before though. Like this ain't your first time saying this.
Like, what am I going to do? Like, niggas like, nah, I was 01, I was there. Like, no, I wasn't. And so
that's what I'm saying. Though, so stop saying like you weren't really listening to music and just say you was listening to Linkin Park.
I was listening to Linkin Park until middle school. I did not like again at my mom's place. It was like 50 and R. Kelly. Besides that, didn't really go out of my way to listen to music. Just didn't.
When you was at your
I started,
and she was bumping 50 and R. Kelly, was you like, she no ball?
I was trying to figure out what the fuck, like when these videos end, because that shit, because like, MTV just played that bitch for like hours straight. And I was like,
remember how Kelly dropped a double album that was half R&B and half gospel?
Look, man, he was moving different out here.
He introduced the deluxe double disc.
Oh man. And I guess I asked these questions to kind of lead into like, as you went back, Tony, you kind of started to go there as like, when did you go back to like Jay's original shit? So instead of just listening to what he has out now, or versus what he had out at the time you were listening to him. When did you really go back and be like, you started to listen to Reasonable Doubt, you started to listen to the early J stuff, the late 90s? Oh,
That was
and I'll be
definitely
back in 30 seconds. I can still hear y'all.
that was definitely in high school. Maybe freshman year of high school, 10th grade, shit like that. Because yeah, like obviously your ear for music changes, your ear for rap and lyrics change. So I go back to that and I'm like, okay, let me see what old Hov is talking about, because you kind of work backwards with Jay generally, or like any older rappers, you will work backwards from
Yeah.
the shit they have today to then. So I kind of just work my way back until you get to Reasonable Doubt, and it's like, damn, like not only is this cold, but this still like it'd still be as
Relevant.
cold if it came out today.
Mm-hmm. Will, when did you make your way back to like a when did you make your way back to Ho when he was younger?
It was probably maybe the same for me. Obviously, I'm older than Tony, but probably around high school. Like, you listening to it as it dropped. And like I said, even though like my introduction to Jay-Z was when I was a little bit younger, when you talk about just listening to a entire album from top to bottom, that was definitely as I got older. And you start kind of going back to all those old albums and figuring out like, what was going on back then and what they were talking about back then. So it was probably when I really started going back to maybe do my homework and all of that stuff. It was probably around high school.
I'll ask the obvious question. This is probably, if you ask how many.
And I used to be the CD man. I used to sell CDs, so I used to sell burn CDs and shit like that. So like that's kind of how like.
When did you stop selling burn CDs?
I probably stopped that before high school. I don't even know. Maybe either before high school or maybe like freshman year of high school. I had a whole operation running up. Like I had niggas working for me and everything. It was real out there.
See what happens? Niggas started listening to Jay. Niggas started selling CDs.
Listen, I had niggas in the neighborhood with the little spiral notebooks and shit taking orders.
Niggas had duffel bags full of
Hey, that's insane.
full of Joe Budden.
It was mixed CDs. So like, the niggas would give you.
Oh shit! Oh, that's why you had niggas waiting.
No, yeah. So it's like niggas are giving you all the songs, like they come with their list of shit, like the songs that they want or whatever, and like and you make the CDs. So I was hustling.
What was the original playlist?
I ain't never just print a bunch of a nigga albums, but like that's also like for me how I got introduced to like a lot of artists. Like I found out about A-Ball and MJG like that way because of I had never heard of him, and the nigga was like he was like, oh yeah, I need that A-Ball. MJG sent he had like a bunch of their songs and shit, and I had to go download them, burn the CDs and all that shit. That's how I found out about that.
I'm gonna be so honest. I'm making a Photoshop image of Will with like one of them, like the paper and like the track list this nigga would have had back in fucking.
That's crazy.
Hey,
make sure you make it be one of my employees, nigga. I was running a legitimate, illegitimate business.
Pump It Up was definitely on those CDs.
Ain't nobody ever requested Pump It Up. I ain't even know who the fuck Joe Budden was back then. All I was selling was gangster shit and R&B music.
That might have just that could have just been one nigga. Like, anyway.
Yeah. Nigga, listen, man. When R. Kelly dropped the Chocolate Factory album, business was booming.
Niggas wanted Step in the Name of Love, Riding Spinners, and Game Over by Lil Flip.
But it's only crazy because niggas was giving me, but that's why like I took my work was top tier because like they was giving me their list and I was sequencing that shit. Like I was sequencing that shit right. I wasn't even putting it the way I was like, you want to hear this after this, you want to, you know what I mean? So.
All right. Hey, man, look, we learn something new every week on this show. we learn something new every week.
This nigga making
I'm only upset because like, why you ain't pick the business bag up when you was working at McDonald's? Like, you know how many niggas you could have sold some fucking CDs to back then? Like,
Niggas wasn't buying CDs when he was working at McDonald's. That was
nigga, it was
like
99.
2011. That was like 2011.
Niggas said 99. Niggas had the aux cords and shit in the car by there.
The idea of my dog like really sequencing a burnt Nick CD is fire.
I said, oh no, you don't want to hit these two back to back. Like, you know, you gotta.
You wanna end with the Crazy in Love. You don't want it to be number 6.
No, you don't want that to be. You don't want that in the middle of this other shit that's going on.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh. If you ask like just generic number people, like 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, this is going to be. You take a poll, like this is going to end up number 1 on a lot of people's like best Jay's project ever. Do y'all feel like this is his best project?
I do. I know it's probably closer to 50-50 if you polled a lot of people between this and Blueprint. So. But for me, this is Hove's best album.
So I want to.
It's not my favorite Jay album, but it is his best album.
It ain't Blueprint 3, but it's fire. What?
Come on, don't look like that, Tony. You know, he said he found out about Jay-Z from.
I was like, no, because y'all. Anyway.
You and this Blueprint 3 thing, it pisses me off every time.
And the problem is, I don't even hate Blueprint 3. I think that's the thing. Like, I fuck with Blueprint 3.
The best songs on Blueprint 3 are Lil Wayne songs now.
Empire State of Mind's on Blueprint 3.
I will smack the shit out you. Stop. Stop it. Stop it.
Let's stay with Reasonable Doubt. 30-year anniversary. Because we always say this, and it's like, oh, this is how things this up. Why is Reasonable Doubt for a guy who is a consensus, or I won't say consensus, but a large amount of people will tell you is the greatest rapper ever, at worst, one of the 2 or 3 greatest rappers ever. Like, what makes Reasonable Doubt better than Blueprint? What makes Reasonable Doubt better than Volume? Like, if we'd like to really expand that conversation, do we feel like this is the best Hove has ever been?
It's like he always says, you know, it took him his whole life to make this album. And you probably don't get, I don't know, like the album doesn't chase anything as later albums might have done. It doesn't chase any hits. It doesn't chase any popularity. It's an honest record, and it's kind of him at like the last stages of like being a drug dealer and shit like that. It's like, cause he's famous by the time Volume 1 comes out. He's not a superstar, but he's famous, and it's like he's more removed from that game, and it's him as close to the street as we ever had him. And, you know, Biggie's still alive, so he still got that motivation that he probably never got again, because he probably never thought anybody was as good as him. And he might not be wrong about that. So I don't think he was ever as motivated to rap as high. And that's not to say he never rapped.
He said Wayne was on his ass.
That's not to say like he never rapped at a high level. Like, he probably rapped better on other albums to many people, but it's just a very particular time in Jay's career that was the only time we ever got that version of him. And them records, man, they fucking classic records. Like, Can I Live? Like, Feeling It, Politics as Usual, Brooklyn's Finest. Like, the variety of producers on there, the variety of types of beats and songs, it's just is. I'm not gonna throw around perfect album and shit like that, but it's as close to perfect as you can get from a rap album. So, and like the intro in itself, like Can't Knock the Hustle is
fire.
It's one of the best intros of all time.
Will kind of mentioned it earlier when he was talking about like YG and your first album is, and you also kind of said it is like, because I feel the same way about Kendrick. And Kendrick has put out some great albums, and Kendrick probably, if you want to say he raps or is creates songs better now in 2026 than he did in 2012, cool. I'd say there's an argument to that. But you really can't copy when someone does take their whole life to make an album because you never gonna have another chance to give them stories. And that's why it's so hard when like somebody delivers you a classic on their first go around and it's this is the entirety of my life. This is who I've been. Let me give you all these stories. I can't re-give you that story. So whatever I'm gonna tell you now, I'm never gonna be able to repackage this again if you're serious, right? Obviously, you can flip stiff, revisit some stuff like stories, who you are at that point in time, the person that you are. Like Will said, YG is like that was his crazy life, and he has not, hopefully, been living that crazy since then. And so the stuff that you then get to do, yes, your world expands and you get more viewpoints. And Hov has done a great job of like I'm a businessman. I do fancy shit. I buy art. Like I'm a dad now. We get into later albums. That stuff exists, but that stuff wasn't 27. Right? He's 27 when this drops. 26, 27. I know he's older.
Like 27.
27. So yeah, it's like you're never gonna have another point in time where you are
And that's
27
another thing. Like
years.
this nigga was 27 on his debut.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it's like 20. Like you just won't have. There's not another album that he can put 27 years of life into. The closest you ever get, and I'm not quite as on this album as Tony is, but like 444 is kind of the closest, only because since he's taking the experience of being a dad and being a husband, that is his second biggest life experience compared to just actually being alive for all that amount of time, if that makes sense. And so when you get into like these classic first albums, like that's a big reason why you can't make this again. You can't replicate this. And again, if you want to say someone gets better as a like putting songs together, like technically rapping, et cetera, fine, cool. But you never gonna have like this nigga will never exist again, and that's completely fine. Will White, do you think Reasonable Doubt is his best album? And if you do think so, why? Or if you think another album's better?
No, I think it's his best album, and kind of like you said, I would have reiterated the point that was probably when he was the most like authentic, and not to say that anything after that isn't authentic, but a lot of times maybe not your first album, but like your first project for a rapper. That's for a lot of rappers, especially back then. That's the only time when it's only about the music. So and what I mean is like anything after that, like as you start getting fame and notoriety, now you start talking to the fans, you start talking to the critics, you start talking like so. Now what you're rapping about is responding to maybe things that are being said, things that you're hearing, things that you're hearing on the radio versus like before anybody know you, the only thing it's about is the music. You just trying to put out the best music possible, and everything after that is you responding, addressing like whatever it is. Like you won't hear an album where somebody don't address like some type of criticism that they've got. So I would just say it's kind of the most authentic. The rapping was great. And like Tony mentioned, there's a lot of classic songs on there.
Where, and again, for anybody listening, we are doing a slightly shorter episode, but this goes with the conversation. Like, where does this compare, in your guys' opinion, like to other classic albums, and like how high up the list does this go? Where like, I'm trying to phrase this. I don't know if this makes sense. I'm gonna say it out loud. You know, tell me if this sounds nuts. Like, what level of album do you got to get to even have a conversation with Reasonable Doubt? So I think to a lot of people, it's somewhere in like, I think I'll say at worst top 10. I think it's in a lot of top 5s. Like, what's the level of album you got to get to before you like, okay, we can have an honest conversation. Is this better than Reasonable Doubt?
I think that's I get the question, but I think it's kind of too subjective of a thing because, like I said, I don't. There are a lot of people that think this is Jay Z's best album. There's a lot of people that think other albums are Jay Z's best album. When we talk specifically Jay Z, there are people who may have this, and because of that, they may not have this in like their top fives and top tens and shit like that. I think I think tearing it is better. I think it's in the upper tier of rap albums. I think when we think of like the highest level of rapping, I think this is in that tier. This isn't his only album in that tier, obviously, but um, I think this is in that tier with the Illmatics and It Was Written's, the Ready to Dies and the Life After Deaths, All Lies on Me and Me Against the Worlds and the Diary, just those upper tier classic rap albums, like, and there's so many more I didn't name. So I think you can't really compare it by like what albums can reach this level, but what albums are in the same air as this.
Is I'm just kind of starting shit here. Is this the best album to come out of New York?
Ever?
Yeah.
Nah, that's not the best album come out of New York ever. It's the second.
I'm as y'all ready to die or get rich above it.
Life After Death.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think Life After Death is the greatest hip hop album of all time. I've said this on the show before, but people might miss that. So I think Life After Death is the greatest rap album of all time because Life After Death gives you everything you'd want in a rap album. If you want just hard street records, Life After Death give you that. If you want some shit you can listen to with your girlfriend, Life After Death give you that. If you want some shit you can play at the club, it got that. If you want some funny shit that you can listen to while you smoking, chilling with the homies, it got that. Like it covers every single base. It got some fat, sure, but it ain't no fat that you just like ill. It's some fat you like, all right, fuck it.
No, it's see, I think that's a great way to put it because anytime like and he doesn't talk about it so much anymore, but like there's a bunch of early Jay clips of like asking himself about Biggie or who he thinks are the best rappers ever, and that's always the thing he goes to when he talks about Biggie. Is he's like he's the one dude that could basically rap in any single style and it was effective. Whether he was serious, whether he was funny, whether it was storytelling, he was just like dude could just like with Pac, who obviously like when Jay was younger, like obviously like Big and Pac held a lot of like one and two spots, right? And so he's like, but Pac was it was entirely energy. He's like Pac was not like a technical rapper or some crazy wordsmith. He was like, but Pac had energy that you just couldn't fake on a record. He's like Big was style wise could do everything. So I think the way you describe Life After Death is literally the way like he describes Big as a rapper, which Big is like again rank him where you want to rank him. He is perfect at it. Like it's kind of insane. Like you can put Jay above him, that's cool, but like Big is uniquely like a perfect rapper. Um, Will, what albums do you think are like in this tier of reasonable doubt?
Mm.
I ask Will because Will has X in his top 10. Does DMX have an album, and we know the obvious ones, as good or in the conversation as reasonable doubt to you?
I would say in the conversation, but I think like the conversation is like how big is the conversation?
Does DMX have a top 10 hip hop album of all time?
To me, like you said, like in my opinion, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Does DMX, in
And
your opinion, have a top six, top five hip hop album of all time?
mm,
Depends
top
on how hard
five,
I'm
it
going
could
in
be
the gym that
debated.
day.
Yeah, like I mean, I can like, and we talk about this with favorites all the time. Like anytime we got a favorite anything, it could just depend on the day. Like I mean, outside of like maybe those top one, two, and three, like everything after that, like some you might have at five today might be seven the next day.
No, I agree with that. I also don't think I think X is unique only because like when we talked about like in the chat we talked about our top 10 rappers a couple weeks ago. You have X in your top 10. I don't think that's like a bad take by any means. And I think it's a valid there's a lot of valid arguments. The same with his albums, there's a lot of valid arguments to say if you said he's got a top five, And so yeah, some of it is favorite, but I also think he is. I think it's valid to put him there as well. Like I wouldn't put as much as I love you, Richard. I try and I wouldn't put 50 as a whole in the conversation. I think he is. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he's in a different tier than DMX and Jay is, if that makes sense.
50 and X in the same tier. I gotta disagree. 50 and X in the same tier.
That's tough. I would have X above it. Like I have X higher than
what's the what
straight numbers, but
what category are you talking about? Like Justin.
So I don't number this far down, but if I'm just going like off the top of my head, X is probably somewhere in the top 20 to 25 ever. 50 to me is probably he's probably in the top 50 if we do like totality of careers. But I think he is below, like I confidently would say he is below X, both numerically and if I'm like grouping by like 5s or 10, I would have 50 below DMX.
As a rapper or like
I try to do like this is again subjective, but I do try to do
like from a technical
careers.
standpoint, 50's a better rapper than DMX. From a technical,
50,
I think from a technical standpoint,
50 is actually underrated as a rapper. Like, and I don't know like at what point that happened, but it's kind of like it almost got made as if like 50 like wasn't a rapper or like wasn't
50
a good
rapper.
They tried to make a Master P. Like
they tried. That's what they tried to make it seem like 50 like couldn't spit.
No, I said 50 would be in when I'm saying like totality of careers. Yes, it is how well you rap. It is how well you make songs. Like what are the albums you put out? Because it's why we don't have because we put people who are quote unquote like technically great rappers but don't make good music. We push them down, right?
If
like
it's totality, 50's. I'm not here to argue like the ranking of it, but I'm just trying to get an understanding of it. Because if we talking totality of career, it's definitely 50.
I will put them in the same tier. I will put 50.
I put them same tier for sure. I don't think X is in the tier of Jay-Z.
No, I don't think X is in the tier of Jay-Z. But like I said, if X to me is somewhere again, I don't got 11 through 20.
So if Jay-Z is tier 1,
Jay-Z is in the top 5 at the absolute worst.
Jay is an S tier rapper. So 50 Correct. And X are A tier rappers.
See, I would have 50 like right outside A. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
So who else is in that tier with 50 then? If you got 50 as outside,
if we doing,
like,
if 50 is a B, who's in that with 50?
If I'm doing totality of careers, who's a good 50 comp? I mean, I would. So I think Game is musically equivalent, and I would think they're
musically fair.
I think they're both in the same tier, and I wouldn't put Game in the same tier as DMX. Even though I think Game probably.
I don't know that Game is a B tier rapper though. like
would
I
you
don't
put
know, like as much hate as Game get. Like I don't know if niggas is being like realistic. I don't know that Game is a B tier rapper.
What is
how many B tier rappers? How many B tier rappers have classic albums?
Oh,
that's a good one.
I mean, so the problem with that is like how long niggas rap because like niggas have like.
No, it's niggas that's been rapping their whole life and they got a classic.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But there's also niggas that rap their whole life, have rapped very, very well, have a classic album, and continue to rap, and they've like got worse. And so that matters. Like
who?
And that's why it's so. Oh, Eminem is the easiest one because Eminem at different points of his career is in the S tier. He's in like the all-time greats, and then he has just rapped so long and gotten worse. Where it's like, oh, Eminem, you gotta slide.
But
down.
career wise, Eminem is an S tier rapper. And I'm not even a guy.
If the criteria is career totality, it's like
he's so tough. Him and Wayne are both in the.
Not even the M thing. It's just
fall
like,
off is.
Yeah, I can't get with 50 being a B tier rapper. I can't get with that.
it also, and I think here,
Based
Well,
on the
tell me
criteria. Based on the
real quick.
criteria.
let me also
And I know
rephrase
we
this.
go.
I think I'm thinking of it inside like the top 50 cents. I'm using this like really, really judgmental that if like you had a top 50 and like the first five, six, maybe seven are S tier, and then you got 10 or so A tier and then 10 or so B tier. I'm kind of looking in that sense. I'm not looking at it holistically where like, if I'm taking just everybody that rapped ever, then yes, 50 is in the A tier. But if I'm looking at it from like a really selective list, like top 50, top 100, well, then you got to start making cutoffs, right? And so it's just like,
Is
where do you
is
make that cutoff?
I know you. I know we short on time, and I know Will has something to say. But is Ti A tier?
To me, to me,
Then
absolutely.
50's
Come on
A
now.
tier if
Come
Ti's
on
A
now.
I
tier.
don't think I don't I think Ti's music career is better than 50 Cent's confidently. I'm not saying drastically like some huge gap, but I'm saying confidently Ti's music career is better than 50's.
I don't know about that.
Even though Ti was lying his ass off with the versus shit,
No, like,
because that
but
nigga wanted the verses.
even aside from that, I think when you talk about Ti 50, you talk about like you talking about damn near like a LeBron Jordan argument, like who had the highest peak versus like the longevity, like
And that's
peak wise, like 50.
so my problem with that is like now 50 does have an insane peak. Like I'm not even gonna sit there and try to act like he doesn't. The problem with like the longevity versus peak shit is I think people don't, because it comes up so much like LeBron and Mike and in different sports, is like not everybody's peak is the same. Like that's just acting like, oh, well, it's just because Jordan's peak. Jordan's peak is out of this fucking world. So is LeBron's peak. Like they're both; those are two totally out of this world. Again, it gets really weird with music because again, it's like, when is your peak? Is it the beginning of your career? Is it towards the end of your career? Is it in the middle of your career? How many albums? And this is just something you can't necessarily judge great at all times. Like, how well did they age? Because in 1 year, I might say, yo, you got 4 or 5 albums. And then one of those albums, you take another couple years, and it's like, that wasn't it. Like again, and I use
And
M because it's easy. MMLP2, it dropped. I was like, oh, he still got it. Another year passed. I'm like, okay, he still got it. And I've said the story before. Tony, it was like a couple years ago. Tony was like, hey, just try running that back one more time, see if he still got it. He didn't have it. And so like I would have at 1 year said, okay, that is in the good list of Eminem albums. And now I'm like, it's not on that anymore. And that's something that's always kind of weird with music is like how well your catalog ages, that shit does matter.
can we put
Like
this on the doc for next week? I want us to talk about. I want us to
yeah,
talk
that's
about
fine.
tiers for sure. But
Yeah, no, that's fine. And again, I'm being weird because again, I'm kind of tearing off like a top 50 list, which is not how I would like actually tier everybody who's ever rapped, because somebody like Wale, I think, is an A tier rapper, but not if you're doing off a top 50, 100 list. But if you're just doing any nigga that's ever rapped, Wale is an A tier rapper. But if I got to cut it down to
just to
100
be clear,
people,
Ti and 50 Cent are probably in the same tier. And I think one of the things that we got, like, the S tier is gonna be the tier where it's like it's not gonna be a whole lot of people in that S tier, but when you start getting into these other tiers, you're gonna see more. It's gonna be more.
So
like
that's what I would.
just because you got 5 people in the S tier, or how many people you want to put there, that don't mean it can't be 20 people in the next tier.
I guess that would be if we want to have this convo again for next week, is like just a kind of a preview of it. If we doing like just anyone who's ever rapped.
Well, I thought we were talking. What we're talking career wise, I guess. What?
Yeah, career wise, anyone who's ever been a mainstream level rapper, right? Because you could obviously go way down in the weeds. How many niggas would like actually the S tier consist of? If you say, yo, this is the GOAT room, like how many niggas really get to watch? Because like when we do basketball,
how many
lists,
tiers?
like,
how many tiers is it total? How many is it?
I'm a nerd. I'm used to like nerdy ones where it's S,
A, B, C, A, B, and C.
S, A, B, C?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would even say like, again, I would say you have like a GOAT tier, which ain't just one person, but like the niggas on that level. You would have
S tier, I would think, right?
That's S tier. You would have a Legends tier, which is basically A. You would have a Hall of Fame, which is B. And you'd have Right Outside, which is C. Like if I'm doing sports comparisons like that.
I know how the episode is gonna go based on where you got Scarface. That will let me know everything I need to know about the
I guess
episode.
so. Real quick, and actually I want to ask Tony first. Who are you? How many people do you have in the S tier?
Me personally, at least 8.
It's probably about there.
You got 8 people in your S tier, Justin?
Off the top of my head, real easily, I know I'm at like 5.
That's why I figured you would be.
6.
My floor is 8. My ceiling is 10.
7. Oh, the floor is 8. Okay, so I'm probably. We ain't gonna actually like name out 100 people. I'm probably somewhere like 6 to 8 sounds right to me. Of like.
So give me. Do y'all got 5 off top that y'all are putting in the S tier?
Oh, Hove, Nas, Big Pac. Excuse me,
4.
Wayne is in there for me. I argue Snoop, even though I don't think niggas is going to agree with me on Snoop across the board. But I think Snoop belongs in there.
If career totality rapping is the criteria, you cannot put Snoop. You cannot put Snoop Dogg in the S.
That's what I mean. But like, you don't do that in that. Oh, come on.
No, I'm aware. No, Snoop, I'm aware. Snoop is.
You put Snoop in the S tier and then tell me 50 is B tier is crazy.
I go. No, I get that, but I say like I'm.
And everybody loves Snoop.
Like he has an art because he's one of like only a handful of artists. Bias. It is because he's got an album that I could argue is the greatest rap album ever. Like you can absolutely make an argument Doggy Style's the greatest rap album ever, and that is a lot of points in my mind.
I spit on the argument, but you.
I know. Guess what niggas is more like it's. But anyway, I got Kendrick that high. I got him top 10. I'm just trying to think of like who's in like my confident like outright top 10 versus who was like the last like name or two I was thinking of, and that's probably where I end up.
Which tier is Kendrick in?
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's either like the last nigga in the GOAT room or he's the first nigga outside. And I don't have that answer right this second for you. But that's somewhere he would probably.
But you don't even know how many niggas in your GOAT room.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I got those 5 definitively, no questions asked, and then I would start thinking about 6
Snoop
and
was
7.
your 5th?
No, Wayne was my 5th. So Hove, Nas, Big, Pac, Wayne are like my for sure. They're in there. 6 and 7.
Who is your 5, Tony? Because I don't know if Wayne is in your 5.
No, I had the same 5 as Justin did, as far as like initial 5 at least. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You looked a little perturbed when he mentioned Lil Wayne, so I didn't
No.
know. I was just looking for a little straightener.
No, based on his criteria, I couldn't take Wayne out of S.
And that's again, this is why I say not everybody's peak is their peak because like T.I. had a crazy peak. T.I.'s peak is not Lil Wayne's peak, in my opinion.
I'm more so look that way because for me Kendrick is in the S.
It's really the problem.
So Eminem in the S or no?
Fuck no. No.
And the only reason I'm asking is because when we talk about like what you just talked about with Eminem, maybe with some of that shit not hitting the same, and Wayne has gotten some of that same criticism.
Absolutely, they both have that same criticism. I am going.
Who had the higher peak?
Wayne's best raps still age well. Eminem's best raps, you could argue, don't age well. And that's not even me saying that. I think you could just argue that when niggas was saying Eminem. My bad. All right, we gotta go. We gonna
talk about this next week, man.
Yeah. We definitely are. Oh man, shout out to Reasonable Doubt. Shout out to Hove. Shout out to all y'all that wanted to have hair conspiracies this week. Y'all got a lot of time. There must be a lot of unemployed niggas on Twitter because y'all had a lot of fucking time. What else I want to say here before we close out? Yeah, no, that's all I got. Come fly with us on a Wednesday, man. Love Island even on Wednesday. And if y'all want Love Island, just watch Tony's tweets. Just go follow Tony on Twitter. Tony will give you the. We ain't doing another Love Island on the podcast, but Tony will give you the Love Island breakdown on his Twitter. Leave his girl alone, man. Leave her
Follow
alone. She
me.
out here. She
Don't follow me. Makes no difference to me.
Hey man, we gonna catch y'all next week. Don't forget check us out YouTube, TikTok, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify. We out.